Good morning, children. Here I am with the third video of the making of the national movement, history chapter number 9. Children, in the first video we have discussed about the reasons behind the emergence of mass nationalism in our country. We have also discussed about the formation of political association, especially Indian National Congress, and important leaders of the Congress, their demands, their methods of protesting. In the second video, we have discussed about the partition of Bengal, the division in Congress because of differences in their views, the formation of Muslim League, Swadeshi and boycott movement, the advent of Mahatma Gandhi in the political scenario, and the Rowlatt Satyagraha. Today we will proceed further and we will discuss more about this chapter. So let's start. On April 10, 1919, two Congress leaders, Dr. Saifuddin Kichlew and Dr. Satyapal, were arrested in Punjab. On April 13, 1919, a peaceful meeting was held at Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar to protest against the arrest of these leaders. While the meeting was going on peacefully, General Dyer entered the park with his troops. He blocked the exit ends of the park and ordered the troops to open fire. The firing continued for 20 minutes. Hundreds of people were killed and many wounded. Mass riots erupted in Punjab and the government had to place 5 of the districts under martial law. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre brought Mahatma Gandhi to the forefront of Indian politics. He decided to organize a passive resistance movement protesting the unprovoked firing. A wave of mass demonstrations, strikes, and riots engulfed many regions of India. On learning about the massacre, Rabindranath Tagore returned his knighthood, an honorary title given by the British government. The incident marked a turning point in the history of Indian freedom struggle. The Khilafat issue was one such cause where the Hindus and Muslims came together to protest against the ill treatment of the Caliph of Turkey by the British. The Muslims all over the world held the Sultan of Turkey in great esteem. They considered him as their caliph. During the First World War, the British fought against Turkey. The victorious British imposed humiliating terms on Turkey and the Allies divided the empire of Turkey amongst themselves. At that time, Indian Muslims supported the British on the condition that after the war they would give up their anti-Turkish policies and would also treat the Caliph decently. But after the war, they did not keep their promise. They not only divided Turkey into many parts, but also deprived the Sultan of Turkey of his power. There was unrest in Indian Muslims due to the injustice done to them. This led to the rise of the Khilafat movement. A Khilafat committee was formed under the leadership of Ali brothers Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali. Hakim Ajmal Khan, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, and Hazrat Mohani were among other great leaders of the movement. The movement started with two main demands. To restore the Caliph must retain control over East. The leaders of the Khilafat movement joined hands with the Indian National Congress for the upcoming non-cooperation movement. The Congress leaders used this opportunity to strengthen and promote Hindu-Muslim unity. Mahatma Gandhi, along with some prominent leaders of the Khilafat movement, toured different parts of the country to appeal to people to observe October 17, 1919 as Khilafat Day. Gandhiji urged the Congress to campaign against Punjab wrongs, support the Khilafat movement and demand Swaraj. Mahatma Gandhi launched the non-cooperation movement in 1920 and it gained momentum in 1921-22. The Congress adopted the resolution of non-cooperation in Calcutta session of 1920. Mahatma Gandhi popularized khadi or hand-woven cloth during this movement. The charkha became the symbol of Swadeshi. As a method of non-cooperation, people were asked to boycott British goods, legislatures, law courts, banks, offices, and educational institutions, and renounce titles and honors given by the British. Mahatma Gandhi returned his title Kesar-e-Hind to the government. Hundreds of lawyers, including Motilal Nehru, Chittaranjan Das, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and Asif Ali, gave up their highly profitable professions. Thousands of students left government schools and colleges and joined schools and colleges opened by Indians instead. Women also showed great enthusiasm in picketing liquor and foreign clothes shops. Bonfires of foreign clothes were held throughout the country and khadi became the symbol of freedom. The erstwhile gap between the two communities was reduced and a happy era of Hindu-Muslim solidarity was welcomed. As the movement spread among the masses, thousands of people across the country responded to the call of non-cooperation. Some resisted the British rule non-violently, while some interpreted Gandhiji's call in their own manner and protested in ways that were not in accordance with his ideas. In Uttar Pradesh, tenants refused to pay illegal dues to zamindar. In Kheda, Gujarat, the peasants non-violently campaigned against the high revenue demands of the British. In coastal Andhra Pradesh and interior Tamil Nadu, liquor shops were picketed. In Guntur, Andhra Pradesh, tribal and poor peasants observed forest satyagrahas by sending their cattle into forest without paying grazing fee. They believed that Gandhiji would get their taxes reduced and forest regulation abolished. They demanded an increase in their wages. So children, this is all for today. We will discuss more about this chapter in the next video. Till then, goodbye.